The Kindle Fire, it's a really interesting offering from the point of view of a user experience engineer. So I've said many times that usability is no longer enough, that it's no longer a question of whether it's just easy to use. And the Kindle Fire is a great example of that. So if you've been reading the literature, you'll see that there's some issues with the design of the Fire from a purely ergonomic viewpoint. So there are things that if I try to click on it, it's small, so I can't really see what I'm clicking on. It's a little bit difficult. Some of the things are not obvious in terms of how to use it. Magazines aren't formatted in a way where they're easy to navigate. And if you look at the text, sometimes it's right, left, justified, which is kind of odd. The Kindle monochromatic units are really easy to read, and this can sometimes not be so easy. So why does it sell 1 million a month? It sells 1 million a month because it's not just about usability. For one thing, this is an ecosystem solution. So if you look today, most of the really cool offerings are not just a device. This is a device. It's connected to a whole set of components. So you have the Amazon website. You have all the content getting to the Amazon website. You have the Amazon emails that come to you, that whole relationship. So this is not just a separate device. It's really just a portal which gets you to a whole ecosystem which makes it a much richer offering than any device could possibly be. Most successful offerings today are ecosystem solutions, just like the Apple solution, where you have an iPhone, an iPad, and that all connects to iTunes. Ecosystems are more powerful. Beyond the ecosystem aspect of it, we can look at the point of sale, the going to the website, and consider what we talk about as PET, persuasion, emotion, and trust. And the PET issues, the persuasion issues, are very important in getting that 1 million a month to happen. We did a research project bringing participants in and asking them, using a method of deep, in-depth interviews, we talk about as PET analysis. And in those interviews, what we did was we found out the drives, the blocks, the beliefs, and the feelings which underlie the experience of looking at, say, a product page. And the Kindle Fire page mostly had people experiencing drives. So if you look at the drives, there are more of them, and the green bars that indicate the strength of the drive, they're pretty strong. If you squint your eyes, you see a lot of green. You see much less red at the top. So the red are the blocks, and those are the things that keep me from wanting the device. And there are fewer of them, they're less strong. This guides us in terms of improving the design. For example, you can use persuasion engineering methods to sell the device more by, say, reframing the issue of it being touch-only device. Some people felt, oh, it doesn't have any buttons, that'll make it more difficult to use, but we can frame the site as it being a major advantage that the whole area is available for viewing. And after all, you use the device for reading and for viewing videos. And so it's a good thing that there are no buttons and that space isn't wasted on buttons. So that's a reframing exercise. So lots of methods can be used to remove blocks and increase the drives. And if you download the white paper, you'll be able to read the chart better, and you'll also see how we use that chart in order to improve the design. We also looked at another page, which is the comparison between the monochromatic Kindles and the Fire. And if you look at that, what you're going to find is that it's overwhelmingly the case that people are interested, their drives are all around getting the Fire as opposed to the other devices. The only real block to getting the Fire is that the price is actually low. It's lower than one of the DX Kindle, and therefore people wonder whether there's something wrong with it, whether it's cheaply made, and therefore we would be able to address that block perhaps directly to increase the sale of the Fire if we wanted to. So we can use this kind of in-depth analysis to predict what sales will be and also to fine-tune the process of selling. So what we've seen is we have ecosystem solution beyond just usability, pet analysis telling us that the persuasion engineering is good beyond just usability, and finally I would say that the design of the device itself as you use it day to day is interesting because it's very game-like. We're starting to use a method we talk about as gamification, where we take the principles that we apply when we want to make a game fun and apply it to other devices. So this has a lot of elements of gamification in it. It interacts a lot like a game with direct manipulation and so on. And there's a whole set of elements of building a set of books and videos into the device. And so it's game-like. And we're using gamification even in incredibly boring back-end financial systems and things like that, where we can make the systems that we use for business more game-like as well. So the Fire is a perfect case in point. Usability is no longer enough. And download the white paper for more details on it.